everybody. I will not like to mention this corona because it's been the hot topic for too long. It's rather a little bit depressing. I would like to focus on so-called easy to clean standardization. So you can see from the cover that this is my iPad. I have the same feeling like you. Every morning I look at it, oh my gosh, all of the fingerprint from my husband, my kids, I just hate it. So what should I do? I have to clean it, right? So, but each cleaning, you would not just basically clean the surface or the coating, you also damage it, but you probably don't not realize it so much. But here in my presentation, I will show you how we're going to achieve the so-called cleaning procedure, and then we make even a standard or specification to run this specific test. Of course, I will give you a little bit of background information, and then I will continue with the testing scope, test method, and I will show you some results. And for the further evaluation, it will be also shortly mentioned. Yeah, this is our product, the consumer product, which you use daily, your mobile phone, also the car display. So on the human hands, you have various chemicals, sweat or fat, that you easily transfer to those product surface. And of course, people don't like it, then they have to clean it. So they're either you rub your mobile phone over your jeans or your shirt, or use a professional cleaning procedure like cleaning gel or spray or microfiber textile. But whatever you do in terms of cleaning, you have to realize that is it so really easy to be cleaned, or doesn't matter how you clean, it's still kind of very smearing on the surface, and then you try harder and harder, and then eventually you damage the coatings without even realizing it is gone, because these are not visible to your human eyes. So what we want to do, number one, we have to kind of simulate this human normal activities with a standardized procedure. So the question is, does the fingerprint easy to be adhered on the surface? Because I hear so many times for the last 2 to 3 years that various companies are developing anti-fingerprint coating, which also we can hear, actually we have heard today in our afternoon session that different anti-fingerprint coating has been applied on the surface. But are those effective or not? So you have to test it. So, and then the second step, after you generate a kind of a good standardized fingerprint, you have to clean it. So the question is how many cycles you need to clean it completely. So the efficiency, do you have to clean with dry condition, which means just simply do like this, or you have to spray some cleaning agent, that this is so-called wet cleaning. And then the third question is, after those cleaning, do you generate additional fine scratches on your coating, on the surface, or further abrasion, which is not visible at all? So here, I would like to continue to show you the so-called test scope number one. The step one is to implement a reproducible fingerprint. Instead of something like here in the middle, I would like to have something nicely spreaded, more homogeneous fingerprint. And then of course, I will have to mount the display sample, which has the fingerprint on it, on a rubbing machine, and then use a standardized microfiber to clean it. So we have got 4 different samples. So first 2, they are already have this this anti-fingerprint coating on the glass was supplied by 2 different suppliers. And then number 3 and 4 also has this so-called improved anti-fingerprint coating. So we just want to see the difference. Supposed to be a movie going on. I need technical support. There we go. Okay. It doesn't run. Anyway, okay, I just shortly describe how this first step is supposed to be. That there is a 40 millimeter blue color stamp, which is attached on a standardized compressor machine or tensile tester, and then a certain amount of so-called fingerprint gel or testing liquid has to be transferred onto this blue color stamp. And then afterwards, you put your display sample onto the at the bottom of the blue stamp, and then of course, then you press, then you generate a nice fingerprint. So we have this standard, which you can see from the presentation, from the slides. And then afterwards, you mount the sample, which has this nice standardized fingerprint on it, to a rubbing machine, and you let it run over it. This time we try with just dry test without any cleansing agent, and with a rubbing speed of 6 centimeters per second, a 10 Newton load, the friction path of 40 millimeter, which covers the whole fingerprint area. And of course, when you want to do quantitative evaluation, you have to run every cycle, so-called cleaning cycle, and then take the sample off, do a optical evaluation, and then continue at the same position, and then clean again, and then do the evaluation. This is the procedure. Oops. Okay, here is the result, which you can see from the 4 different samples. After one cycle, that there is one sample 3, which has really a small percentage of the so-called leftover fingerprint. Basically, how you want to evaluate that, you have the whole area of the fingerprint, which has the 40 millimeter in diameter. Then you swipe it over it, and then you evaluate in the middle of this cleaning area how much leftover you still have. So the idea is the less the better. The less, the more effective of the cleaning. So here you, for example, sample 3, you just have less than 20%. After the first cycle, and then after the second one, the third one is pretty much clean. Comparing with the other 3, after the second sample, there are still maybe close to 20% left over, which is not so effective cleaning. So this is the idea that we generate over last 2 years, that we can simulate the so-called human fingerprint generation, and then you do the cleaning procedure to see the effectiveness of the so-called easy to clean. So most people will say, I don't want to rub my sample or my glasses so many times just for the heck of cleaning. Maybe 2 to 3 times that should be clean. This is, of course, this the perfect way. But again, as a scientist, you always need the number. So we generate this number as a guidance. Also, we will publish this in the DFF specification. So whoever is interested in running demo samples, we could do it. We can help you to evaluate your anti-fingerprint coating in terms of cleanability property. So for the future work, as I mentioned, that we will try different sebum to generate fingerprints. Of course, we will do try some wet cleaning instead of just dry cleaning to see what is the difference. And this is pretty much the presentation. Sorry again for the movie, it doesn't run, so but hopefully the idea, the message are forwarded.